Good afternoon to you. Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com here. It is Monday, the 5th of June, 2023, and you've tuned into the Hurricane Outlook and Discussion. Should be fairly short today because we don't have a lot to talk about out there. The Eastern Pacific, nice and quiet, as is the tropical Atlantic. We are watching one area way out in the Northeast Atlantic. I will show you that. And then, of course, we're going to look at a few of the parameters that we keep track of. Some interesting things happening with sea surface temperature anomalies. Hint, hint, the Atlantic continues to get very warm relative to average, and it's making things very interesting out there, even in the face of the oncoming or incoming, however you want to say it, El Nino. All right, let's get to it, see what's happening out there. Let's start on the East Pac real quick first. Nothing over the next 48 hours. And remember, we do have these 7-day now tropical weather outlooks from the National Hurricane Center. And even over the next 7 days, nothing expected to develop in the Eastern Pacific. How about the Atlantic? There is this one disturbance, non-tropical in nature, way out near the Canary Islands and vicinity, southeast of the Azores, which are right here. There's the Canaries there. If we click on it, we get a satellite picture underlay, I guess you'd call it, as part of the graphical tropical weather outlook here. And you can see it's a huge area, non-tropical, big gale force area of wind. And it might have a chance to consolidate a little bit and become a subtropical storm. But again, these are just classifications that are given to these systems. Tropical, subtropical, doesn't matter in terms of the impacts overall. That's a big ocean storm. And it's interesting, because that's there. What's not there is a huge area of high pressure dominating the eastern Atlantic, creating very strong trade winds. When you have something like that, you can't have a big area of high pressure out there as well. And so the trade winds are nice and slack, and we're going to just continue to warm the tropical Atlantic. So that's a look at what's happening or not happening across the Atlantic basin today. And of course, just real quick down here, any traces of Arlene? Nope, all gone for the most part. It came and went very quickly, strong upper level winds, literally screaming through this area, almost like a subtropical jet. Maybe that's what it is. Keeping a lid on things despite the very warm water temperatures. There's a little bit of energy or vorticity still left over down here, but no convection or thunderstorm activity associated with it. So that's good news there. Nothing seen to develop anytime soon. We look out across the deep tropics, no areas of concentrated vorticity seen there. Now that's the system we were just looking at, kind of oblong in shape, a very large overall part of a complex weather feature as it is. But we'll watch it. You never know. Water temperatures out that way, certainly way warmer than they should be. I'll show you that in just a moment. This is what it looks like on the GFS. You can see a very sprawling area. It takes up a lot of real estate out here with a little bit more concentrated area of energy there. And this is expected to just kind of mill around, not do too much. But again, while that's there, you can't have high pressure out there creating very strong trades just blasting off of Africa. Sending a whole bunch of dust. Yes, there is dust, of course, but it's not like we have a huge subtropical high sitting out here dominating the Atlantic with very strong trade winds. Let's just put a big X out there. That's not happening, especially when we have these big areas of low pressure helping to reduce those trades. Let's keep scooching the little timeline out. And a little blip kind of shows up right here in a few days. A little small area comes shooting out of the Caribbean. We'll see, if it's real or if it's just something the GFS is picking up on. See that? A little area of vorticity right there could be a small, short-lived feature. Maybe it catches the attention of the National Hurricane Center. We'll see. Kind of originates from some energy streaming north and east out of South America, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Certainly nothing very organized out there at all in the vorticity signature over the next week, as you can see. And, by the way, bring me back on for a moment, I will be showing you computer models out to a week. Usually it's just 5 days, but now that the tropical weather outlook goes out to 5 days, or 7 days, see, I'm even forgetting. It goes out to 7 days, we will look in the 7-day time frame as well, might as well. And over the next 7 days, nope, nothing out over the Atlantic to be concerned with at all. So that's great. All right, again, this continues to just be unbelievable. I've seen a lot of tweets about it, especially this over here. Are you kidding me? Look at these anomalies in here. We're getting some reds showing up. We're talking 3+ Celsius above the long-term average across the eastern Atlantic in the classic horseshoe shape of a very favorable AMO pattern. Cold water relative to average in these high latitudes. I mean, that is the perfect setup for a very busy hurricane season if it weren't for this. The oncoming, growing, burgeoning El Nino. This is going to be really, really interesting because we still have, I know I said this every week, but it's still here. That's the point. There's your cold PDO look right there. Starting to dwindle just a little bit, but there's your El Nino coming on. We'll put a positive there, warmer than normal water temperatures. We should just do plus throughout here because these water temperatures are way, way warmer than they should be. And a big part of it is this kind of slackening of the trades out there. You just don't have very strong high pressure, a very positive North Atlantic oscillation where basically you're just driving the winds across the Atlantic, keeping everything stirred up and mixed up. That's not happening. That's part of the cause. The other part, well, people are still looking into it. It's kind of surprising. And it's only early June, but in about 60 days, maybe less, this is really going to start to matter. These anomalies, a lot of people talking about it. It's catching the attention of some very smart people that we could have a very busy season despite the El Nino coming on. But you know, as they say, busy or not, it just takes one where you live, and that's what we are most concerned with. That's what we're looking for. All right, back to the Hofmolar diagrams. Also very interesting. This is the past all through here. This is where we are generally now, and this is the future. Look at what's coming across the ENSO regions there. Pretty strong trades showing up in the Hofmolar diagrams. Yes, this is representing some westerly wind action across the eastern parts of the ENSO region. And just real quick to show you what I'm talking about, that particular chart shows us the zonal winds through basically this region right through here at about 850 millibars or 5,000 feet up. And when you see the blues, you typically have stronger easterly winds. And when you see the reds, you have stronger westerly winds or a westerly wind burst. And it's those westerly winds that come across that help to transport warm water from the West Pacific, creating a downwelling Kelvin wave under the ocean. And it helps to surface that water in the East Pac, and you get the El Nino. But even that surface water, or subsurface water I've showed you recently, isn't all that robust. We'll take a look at that maybe on Wednesday. Back to this, though. That's really interesting right there. A very strong trade burst coming over a pretty wide section of real estate. This longitudinal area, you know, we've got about 100 degrees west past 180. That's the date line. All across the ENSO region later in the month, strong easterly winds. And the Atlantic generally, light trade winds, even a reduction in almost like westerly winds as we go into the later part of the month as well, at least through the first half into the last half. That's really impressive to see, and it just keeps happening. That means that basically this is just going to keep being reinforced as we get through the month of June. Wow. All right, Father's Day coming up. Got to push this. We've sold a few of these. I do appreciate it. Sending some more out today after I do this update. I'm headed to the post office. Our paper hurricane tracking chart, it's big. It's a big old 20 by 28. Full color. Track at home. Give this as a gift. It's only $20. I was thinking about adding a few dollars for shipping because the Postal Service went up on their rates. But I'm like, you know, not going to do it. I want people to own these because it is a work of art. I literally drew this map myself many, many years ago in Adobe Illustrator, way back in the first part of my career. We now give them away to some of our Patreon levels. And, of course, we do sell the excess over on Twitter, through YouTube, and anywhere else that people can hear about it. So if you want to get yours, go to the link that I'll put in today's description. Right there, HurricaneTrack.com/trackmap, and you can buy it through PayPal. $20 flat rate. It's like $5.68 to 80 cents, depending on the zip code, to send them in a tube. Most people get sent these in a tube. A few international people, I do have to send them in one of these envelopes because the tubes seem to get lost internationally. I've never had good luck sending tubes outside of the U.S. I don't know why. It's just the way it goes. Anyway, that's how you can get yours. If you, I'm trying to make me go away so I can sign out of this thing and fit this video up for you. Check out the link there. I'll put it in today's description. This isn't working, so let's just end it, shall we? But yeah, if you want to get a tracking map, I'll put the link in the description of today's video. On Wednesday, I'll be back, and we're going to talk a little bit about impacts and tracking and hazards. In fact, I'm going to do a demo on exactly how you track hurricanes. Maybe most people are used to doing it right here on a device or on an interactive map that does it for you. I'm going to just do a little tutorial the old school way. Well, how do you track these things? What's the best way to do it? I'm going to do that on Wednesday. We're also going to talk about just a few basics. Why do we have hurricanes? Some of the ingredients. Just kind of a tutorial, if you will, since everything else is nice and quiet. All right? Look forward to that on Wednesday. All right, now I'm done. Let's get this online for you. As always, I appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget, please like, subscribe, share, tell all your friends and family what we're doing here at HurricaneTrack, the whole team, myself, all of us. We'd appreciate it. All right, that's it for me. Again, I'm Mark Sudoff. I'll see you again on Wednesday.